what has happened, only 10 students are there. I have already announced the time and I was expecting that it will be the same number. Okay, let us start. Let at least those who are here to be benefited. This is the part of just one minute. See, this fifth unit is comprising mainly the dividend decision and the leasing part. There are many other components of this unit. Generally, we concentrate on these two aspects, and I would like to discuss this. And based on this, we will be before considering this leasing and the calculation part of the lease financing, we have to understand certain things which are important for the purpose of the background, for the purpose of understanding the background part of it. See, whenever you are going to use any equipment, there are many alternatives which are there with you. For example, the equipment is very costly and you are not having that much resources with you. Then one alternative is that you will be purchasing that asset and you will try to get it financed from some financial institution. It means that it is simply a credit buying system, that you are going to buy on credit basis. Okay. There are certain things which you will find in this case when you are going to buy on credit basis. The company which is supplying you this equipment will be one party. The company which will be supplying you the resources for buying this will be the another party. And you as a buyer will be the third party. So one will be the equipment supplier, another one will be the financer, and the third party is yours who are going to use that. So in that case, these are the different type of parties. When we are going to purchase any equipment or any machinery or any long-term asset, so this will be one alternative. Other alternative will be that you are having quite good amount of resources with you, so there is no need for taking any loan. So you are not going for that, and directly you are going to pay to the equipment supplier. So this will be the direct or cash purchase, you can say, that you are going to make. But if you are going to analyze these two situations, here it is completely a purchase based transaction. You have become, what is the nature? The nature is that you have become the owner of that particular asset. But the obligations are different in this case. One obligation is that you will have to pay interest on the loan whatever you have taken. And this loan will be paid for a particular period of time. And that decision will be between you as the owner and the finance company. So the finance company will decide that what is the rate of interest which they are going to charge and how much will be the equated amount which the company, which the finance organization, that will be taking from you every year. It may be if it is yearly or it may be the monthly, whatever is the case. So your relationship in terms of finance will be that you are going to pay to the financial institution, and the amount of the principal that will be paid along with the interest whatever you are going to pay to the financial institution. Now see what is the nature in this case and what benefits you are going to receive in this case. There are two major benefits which you are going to receive when you are going to be the owner of this equipment. One benefit is that you are paying interest on this equipment and what are the finances of this equipment. And this interest you are going to consider in your profit and loss account by reducing it from your revenue. Because interest is the obligation, it is a financial obligation for the use of money. So you will be going for the deduction from your profit, or from the gross profit you are going to reduce this. You are going to minus this. What will be its effect? The effect will be that by reducing or by getting this minus, this amount, your profit is going to be suppressed. The profit is going to be reduced. So what the benefit you are going to have? Your tax incidence in this case, that is going to be reduced. So there will be one benefit which you are going to receive when you are purchasing this asset and you are taking some loan from financial institution. And that financial institution is going to charge interest on that loan. So this interest amount, not the total amount, because the principal will not be reduced. But this interest amount that will be reduced from the calculation of your profit of the years, whatever, during that period, whatever is that. So it is going to reduce your profit, your tax incidence in this case, that is going to be reduced. This is one important benefit which you are going to receive. That the interest charges, they will be treated as expense, and it is going to reduce your profit and tax incidence. Very important component in case of large business we are considering. The second benefit is, in case of this, that when you are going to buy it on credit basis, that you are the owner of this equipment. What will happen? Being the owner of this equipment, you are entitled for charging depreciation on this asset, because you are the owner. No doubt you have not paid the total amount, but the supplier of this equipment, he has been paid by the financial institution. So there is this obligation of payment that has already been made. Now you have become the owner of this asset. Being owner of this asset, you will be getting the benefit of charging depreciation. We know about depreciation. Depreciation is a non-cash expense. Very simple term which we are using for depreciation. It is a non-cash expense. What will happen then? By charging depreciation, you are going to suppress, you are going to reduce the total amount of profit. What will be the end result? The end result will be that your income tax incidence, that will be reduced. By purchasing an asset on credit basis from some financial institution, or if it has been extended by the company itself, which is going to charge interest on it, you are going to get two benefits which will be reducing the incidence of tax on you. That is, one is the interest on this, and the other one is the charging depreciation. So when you are going to buy, this is the situation. Okay, but sometimes what happens, you are not in a position to buy this, and you consider that, okay, I would not like to be the owner. Simply I am going to have this equipment, and some other person, let some other person be the owner of this equipment. Okay, then in that case what will happen? You are going to take this equipment on lease. It will be considered as lease. What is that? Owner of the equipment is somebody else, some other organization. but they have transferred this asset, the physical asset, to you. You are using this asset. You are maintaining this asset. Any repair is required, you are going to do that. Or like any maintenance is required, you are going to do that. You are going to use this asset just like your own asset, as you have purchased it. But this is not the asset. This is not the asset. This is the owner of this asset is some other company, some other party. But you have taken from him on lease basis. Then in that case, what will be the situation? The situation will be that you will have to pay the lease rental. We are using this term lease rental. This is nothing but this is the rent for the utilization of that particular asset. So you will have to pay the lease rental every year. This lease rental, how much you are going to pay, that decision will be based on the mutual agreement of the supplier of the asset and you. So whatever is the rate they are going to fix as the lease rental, you are going to use it and you will be considering that this is the expense which you are making every year on the use of this asset. But here you will not be charging depreciation. Why? Because you are not the owner. You are not the owner. So owner will be charging depreciation. And when he is going to calculate his own profit, he will be considering depreciation as an expense. He will be charging depreciation on that. And his income from that particular asset will be the lease rental, whatever you are paying to him. So he will be treating this income as his income and he will be considering that, okay, this is a depreciation because the value of the asset due to its use that is coming down. So a time will come when this asset, the useful life of the asset, that will be reduced to so much, so less that the lessor will be interested that, okay, it should be sold. But at that time when you are going, the lessor is going to sell that, he will not be getting that much value because it has already been used for so many years. Naturally, he will be having his own set of calculations. Now see, if suppose you are in the business and you are the lessor, then in that case what will happen? You are going to purchase this asset and you may not be purchasing from your own money, so you are also going to take loan. And this asset you are going to purchase from the supplier, for example, any asset supplier. You are going to purchase it. You are in this business of giving this equipment on lease to some different parties. So what are you doing? You are going to purchase the asset and you are getting it financed from some source. Or like, on getting this finance from some source as a lessor, you are going to pay interest on that money with the help of which you have purchased this asset. So that will be one expense which you are going to reduce from the lease rental, whatever you will be charging from the user of that asset. So this is one benefit. The other benefit will be that as a lessor, as an owner, you are going to charge depreciation on that. By charging depreciation, you will be getting the benefit of reducing this much amount in the tax incidence. Okay. Now see here, in case when you are going to purchase asset and you are the lessor, you are giving this equipment on lease to some other party. There are certain obligations which are there which you have to meet. The obligation in this case will be that you will have to regularly pay the amount to the financer because the lessee is simply going to use and he will be paying the lease rental to you. You have to pay to the financing institution. If you are the defaulter, then in that case your position is going to be affected and they will be charging, the finance company will be charging some additional amount because you have defaulted that. So here in this case, whenever we are considering this leasing as a business, our main concentration of discussion is on the financing side. What I want to explain in this is that our main consideration in case of leasing business is on the financing side. And see, in both the cases, if suppose there are, and whenever we are going to consider the financing side of this business, there are many questions which will be arising. Take for example, you are having one alternative that some other party is going to purchase the asset, you are going to take it on loan, on lease, you are going to use it, you are earning profit, you are earning the revenue by the use of this particular asset, and all calculations you are going to do. This will be one. Other alternative will also be there, that why should I go for leasing? I should purchase it. So this will be the other alternative. I am going to purchase this. Then in that case you will have to check what will be suitable. If you are going to purchase the asset or you are going to lease the asset, you are going to get the asset on lease, what will be suitable as a business proposition, you have to check that. How will you check? That part we will have to consider. So in case of this, there are different angles through which we will have to see this leasing business. As a business, when you are going to get this equipment from some sources, you are going to use it, this is one. As a business, you are going to take this as an equipment, you are going to give this on lease, that will be another one. So generally whenever we are going to consider this leasing business, we are the very major component which we generally discuss. No doubt there are so many other aspects of it. But generally what we are discussing in case, because this is giving us a comprehensive idea. That if suppose I am in the business of leasing my equipment, if I am in the business of leasing my equipment, that means I am a lessor, then how I am going to calculate the lease rental, how I am going to decide that okay, how much amount of profit I should earn every year from the amount whatever the lessee is giving me. So these considerations, they are more comprehensive in nature as compared to if I am considering that okay, I am the user of this equipment and I am going to either buy it or I am going to take it on lease. In place of that, if you are going to compare the two, the different type of complexities which you will find and the type of calculations which you will be getting will be more in case if you are in the business as a lessor, and how the lease rental will be calculated, what will be the break-even lease rental, so that okay, up to this amount you will have to charge every year, so that you will be at the break-even level. If you are going to earn a particular amount of profit on your equipment which you are leasing, how you are going to calculate that particular charge. So here we will be concentrating mainly in this discussion on our leasing business or lease financing as a part of the, from the side of the lessor. The main discussion is from the side of the lessor. We will have to consider the calculation part, whatever we will have to, because in case of this calculation I have tried to make it simple so that step wise we will be in a position to understand how that will have to be calculated, the lease rental whenever we are going to charge from the lessee, how it will be calculated. So the theoretical aspect we will have to consider now, and then after I will be coming to that. But the basic understanding that should emerge at this very stage, that why under what condition we are going to use that. Now see, this leasing business is so important and so popular that it is in most of the cases you will find that, take for example, in airlines business. So a company is there which is manufacturing the aircraft, and there is another company which is using it. Boeing is being manufactured by Boeing company, but Air India is using it, Go Air is using it, Kingfisher is using it. So there are many other companies, some they have also closed, East West Airline closed, many others. So here the original equipment supplier, manufacturer is the Boeing, for example, and the user is your Air India, for example. So here it is, and the relationship between these two, that is the lease business. So leasing is very common in case of such type of business. In some countries, even the railways, they are also working on this leasing business. Leasing you are finding, see, I am giving you a very simple example. Leasing we are doing in our daily life also, but we generally don't think like that. Say for example, you have to go to Agra, or you have to go to Mathura or Delhi, and you are going to hire some taxi. You are approaching some owner who are dealing with the taxi business. What you are doing? You are entering into a contract between the taxi supplier and you, one side, the supplier of this taxi, and on the other side, you as a user. So in this case, the supplier of taxi will be the lessor and you will become the lessee. Okay? And there is an agreement between you and the company, the taxi supplier. What is that? The 12 rupees per kilometer we will be paying you. So at the end of the day, when you are going to come back, and it is 300 kilometers, so 12 rupees multiplied by 300 you are going to pay. This is the lease rental, this is because you have taken this on, technically we will say that you have taken this car on lease basis. Alright? But this company which is supplying you this car, he is not the manufacturer. So the car may be coming from Mahindra, it may be coming from Maruti, it may be coming from MG, it may be coming from some other company. So the supplier is some other company, original equipment manufacturer. He is some other company. The company which has supplied you, this is another company. And this company from where you have taken this car on lease or on rent, this company has got this equipment, this car, financed from some financial institution. So it looks to be very simple that you are going to hire a taxi and you will be paying 12 rupees per kilometer and you are going to make use of it. But there are so many parties and there are so many type of contracts which are there in this particular business. Such type of lease, it is a short-term lease because you are hiring for a specific purpose. You are going to Delhi or Agra or Mathura. So this is a specific purpose for which you have hired this, and you are going to use only for that purpose. It should not be used for some other purposes. This is one. This lease is a short-term lease. This is another feature. This type of lease is called operating lease because the relationship between you and the lessor is only for a particular operation. So we are using this term operating lease. Okay. This is a short-term lease. This is also called cancelable lease. So you suppose you have decided to go next morning and in the night the program changes. So what you are going to do? You are going to inform to the supplier of the taxi company that okay, tomorrow this was the agreement between you and me to go, but I am not going. There are some other needs which I have to satisfy and whatever reason. So that can be cancelled also. If suppose the company says that no, if you are going to cancel, you will have to pay 5%, 10%, whatever. In this case, the loss which you are going to bear is not that much. That is called cancelable lease, that is called operating lease. But if suppose this company has taken the car directly from Mahindra, okay, then in that case it will not be able to cancel this relationship in such a short time. And if they are going to cancel this relationship, then in that case what will happen? The amount of loss which the company will have to bear, that will be higher as compared to whatever we are going to do there. So financial lease, that is the long-term lease. The lease where the financing is involved, we are going to call them the financial lease. So the operating lease and financial. We are not concerned with the operating lease. We will be concerned with the financial lease. Now I am coming to the basic, what is this lease and how it is there, the definition part and that part. It is a contractual agreement in which a party owning an asset, he is the lessor, provides the asset for use by the other, that is your lessee, for an agreed period. This another should not be there. For an agreed period of time for a consideration, that is periodic payment. It is the lease rental. At the end of the period of contract, lease period, the asset reverts back to the lessor unless there is a provision of renewal of the contract. Now see here, on the basis of this, the different parties which are involved. It is a contractual arrangement in which the party owning an asset, he is the lessor. So the owner of the equipment, we are calling him the lessor. He provides this asset for use and he will be providing to another party, another person. So he will become the lessee. And it will be for an agreed period. It may be for, just in case of this car business, it is for 1 day. In other business, it will be for a longer period of time. In case of aircraft, it will not be for a day. It will be for 5 years, 10 years, or whatever is the physical life of that asset. So it will be for an agreed period of time. And there will be consideration. Because this is a contract. It is a contractual arrangement. So there will be consideration. So you know about that, the Contract Act that specifies certain conditions related to that. So the consideration is one important component of contract. And what is this consideration? That is the periodic payment, which is called the lease rental, which I have already explained that you will have to pay this lease rental every time. So that will be decided when you are going to take this one. At the end of the period, say for example, you have taken this equipment on lease for 5 years. Then at the end of the period, the contract, that is the lease period, the asset reverts back to the lessor. It will be sent back, it will be transferred, it will be returned to the lessor. Or unless there is a provision of renewal of the contract. See what happens in case of lease business. When the equipment is new and it is coming on lease, then in that case they consider the physical life of the asset, that it will be working for 10 years or 15 years, whatever is the case. So the physical life of the asset, they have to, the company, the equipment supplier, they generally decide. So that part they consider. And based on that, they are going to take up that, okay, after that what will happen? So it may be 10 years, it may be 15 years physical life. Then if suppose the asset is revert back to the lessor, then the lessor will be deciding that how much lease rental he will be charging. So the second phase of lease, in this case, the lease rental will be much less as compared to the beginning period lease. So when the period of lease that is over, the second stage of this asset's life, the lease rental that will have to be decided, and it will be substantially less. It should be substantially less as compared to the earlier period. That's why sometimes what happens, this asset is revert back to the lessor, or the option is given to the lessee, because lessee has been using this equipment. So the option is being given to the lessee that he can also purchase it. So at this time now the question is that at what price he will be purchasing. So there are two types of prices which he will be facing. One price will be that he is going to consider the market price of that particular equipment, considering its wear and tear, the period, whatever it has been used, considering all these aspects, the price, they are going to decide that, okay, how much it will be. Or they say that, okay, no, we are not going to purchase, but it should be put on lease. Then in that case, the lessor will be deciding the amount of lease at the second phase. So this will be the another condition in which there is other condition also. The lessor, when the lessee is not going to buy that, the lessor may be selling this equipment to some third party. Some other party, the lessor will be selling this equipment. Because now the lease period is over. So if the owner is the lessor, and lessor is asking the lessee that if you are interested in purchasing, you can purchase it. But the lessee says that no, I am not interested in purchasing. Then he says that okay, I am going to sell it to some other party. And he will be selling to the other party. Now the relationship of this lease will be between the third party and this lessee. So this type of condition is also there. Buyback lease we are considering. So sometimes he is going to buy it and then after he is going to revert it back to the owner. It means that in case of lease business, there are so many parties involved. The main parties to the business are number one, the lessor, another one is the lessee, another one is the supplier of the equipment, the third one, the fourth one is the financer, then the next one, if it is going to be sold to the third party, the next party, then that party will appear. So in case of this lease business, if you are going to see, you will find that there are different parties to that. Now see, some of them, they have been specified here. Leasing essentially involves divorce of ownership from the economic use of the asset. Very simple feature of lease business is this, that ownership rests with somebody and user is some other person. It is a mechanism of financing of an asset. Basically what we are considering and in what manner we have to consider, we are basically concerned with the financing side, not the maintenance side, not related with how are you going to keep this asset so that the wear and tear is going to be reduced or the troubleshooting that can be made or the breakdown that should not take place. We are not concerned. Our concern is basically on the financing side of this asset. The specific equipment required by the lessee is purchased by the lessor. It may be financer also from a manufacturer selected by the lessee. See, in case of, for example, the aircraft business. So Air India will decide. So which company? So it is a Boeing company. So Air India will decide that okay, from Boeing company we have to purchase. Then in that case, the lessor will be purchasing from the Boeing company, and that will become the financer, and it will be given to the Air India. So here the manufacturer will be some other company and the financer, because here it is basically the financing lease. So the lessor is the financer. He has purchased this equipment from the Boeing company. So, and now he is going to charge depreciation, he will be charging the rent, he will be deciding about the equated amount of payment, if it is the case here, to the manufacturer, the loan part they have considered here in this case. So many factors they will be considered. So from a manufacturer selected by the lessee, so the lessee will have to decide, because he is going to use it. He knows that which equipment will be suitable. Okay, for example, now we are finding that this laptop or the computer system, they are commonly used equipment. But there was a time when the companies they were purchasing, they were giving these equipments on lease. Even the computer system that was given on lease. So the supplier was some company, maybe it is Dell, it is Apple and all. And when the companies which were having this all India level their operations, so the large number of equipments they were purchased, say for example Indian Railway, Air India, like that. So the lessee will be, so in case of this computer business also, there were companies which were using this lease business. Just like in case of car business, we are finding very simple and very direct type of lease which we are having. It is a device for financing here. It is a device for financing by money lending. So this lessor, this is the money lending business, is here. The real function of lessor is not renting, but it is financing. So we have to keep this in mind, that the basic business is not the renting, that okay, I am giving you the equipment and I am going to. It is the financing side which is very much important in case of our lease business. And for today, this much is there. Elements to lease. There are parties to the lease. There is lessor, the lessee. Now see here. In case of large lease, the financing lease or the long-term lease, there is another business which is involved in this. That is the lease broker. There is one party which is doing this job of brokerage, and they are going to bring these two parties together. They will be charging their commission, and they are going to meet. They are going to bring these two parties together. So this is also one business, that is the lease broker. So the lessor, lessee, financer, lease broker, these are the different parties to do that. But mainly we are going to have the lessor and lessee in this business. In the next class, because I am having this exam duty now, so in the next class we will discuss how are we going to decide from the lessor point of view the lease rental when we are going to buy this equipment on loan. So in the next class we will be considering. But the type of lease which we have considered is a financing lease, is it operating lease. The lease can be also the domestic lease and international lease. If suppose the parties to the lease, they are within the country, we will be saying that okay, it is the domestic lease. But if the parties are in two different countries, that becomes the international lease. For example, the equipment supplier is from USA and the user is here in India, then that lease will become the international lease. There will be bipartite lease, there will be tripartite lease also. Here in case of lessor and lessee, it is a bipartite lease. But when the three parties are involved, the supplier, the owner of the asset is one, financer is another one, lessee is another one, that is a tripartite lease. So there are different type of lease. So some discussion on this type of lease theoretical side that I would like to do maybe tomorrow. So tomorrow our class will be at the normal time 8:50. All right. It's all right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. But my duty starts now. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.